You can easily spend a whole day lost in the wonders at Natural History Museum in South Kensington. It has an amazing 20 galleries and an incredible collection of more than 80 million objects spanning 4.5 billion years of world history. In this episode of City Girl in Nature, join me as I have the huge honour of having this vast array of world treasures all to myself. So a huge thank you to the museum for this privilege. Stepping into the museum looking in amazement at the mammoth blue whale skeleton named Hope, I already feel I'm in for a true adventure. The whale skeleton was strategically placed at the museum's entrance to greet visitors as they arrive, so no wonder this really caught my eye. Research looking at the chemical makeup of Hope's baleen plates in her mouth has revealed that Hope was pregnant at some point. To think if this whale gave birth to a baby at some point, the baby may probably exist still astonishes me. There's a vast collection of birds, some native to Britain, along with many other exotic types. It is alarming to think about how many of these are endangered. It's amazing to see their beautiful colours, shapes and sizes in one place. Colonialism is linked to many natural history collections across the world. Many of the artefacts were carried on colonial ships and brought back to Britain. So much natural history knowledge was first discovered by indigenous people and black explorers who were very rarely acknowledged for their expertise and contributions. It would be great to hear more of these stories so they can now be celebrated and remembered for their efforts. So much days I've cried. Let out all that hurt and pain I once had deep inside. Called my mummy like I need you, thought my glasses made me... As I sit down and gaze up at the life-size African giraffe models, I'm amazed on how really tall they are and admire their beauty. There is something so majestic about giraffes, and sadly they are under threat due to decline in habitat and illegal hunting. When your small talk, holding back them war tools. Tell me why I shouldn't take my hand and combat mortal. There is a vast display of birds to explore, some of which are extinct, and wondered how these creatures soared the skies but now have been wiped out by natural or man-made intrusion. Trees are truly majestic, and this giant sequoia are among the largest organisms in the world. This trunk has been in the museum since 1893, after the tree was fled in California. The tree was 1,300 years old and 101 meters tall and lived through many periods of time, including empires, wars, plagues, and more. The museum hosts a collection of beautiful butterflies containing a whopping 12.5 million of various displays. Sometimes we forget about how the smaller things in life are much bigger. It's quite amazing to see this giant Stegosaurus, which is the most intact fossil skeleton of a Stegosaurus ever found, which is in the gallery's Earth Hall. On the wall shows a stunning star constellation map. There also lies an escalator that carries you up to explore gems and minerals, including a piece of moon rock. Inside my feelings, thoughts of genocide. Always a date with Mary, see her curls that smell so fresh beside me. What's inside me, can I find me? Lost my soul. You don't have to look under a rock to discover something new. Sometimes the rock itself can be just as fascinating. The museum boasts an impressive collection from all around the world, like Africa, Antarctica, and Australia. You can see things like volcanic rock, granite, marble, limestone, and more. Looking at these world-leading fossil collections, which possibly date back millions or billions of years, it's amazing how impressively intact nature can preserve a snapshot into the past. This corridor is filled with a vast array of creatures. I can only imagine how they moved or sound. This is definitely a place to also use your imagination. Man, how many times I gotta meet and greet another soul, just to find intentions was a cover. Yo. On a lovely day, it's great to wander outdoors, around the museum grounds, and enjoy some tranquil scenes. You can also see a preserved dinosaur footprint if you look close enough. This demonstrates how being outside always offers the opportunity to discover. Now the edible flowers of this elder tree have gone. In comes the wonderful elderberries, rich in beneficial health properties. We have to wait a little longer when they turn dark in the season before these can be picked. Something about the juice that I'm sipping got me reminiscing about the days I was low. Something about the juice got me slip. I tried this while stumbling outside to the museum's garden. This unique sound ring echoes the natural sounds happening around the area. It's very relaxing to just sit down and listen, being amplified via this strange type of speaker, especially if there is a bird singing close by. The museum's gardens have little sections of wildlife observations. Checking the footage on the motion nature camera gave me a hugely nostalgic feeling of my trip to the Amazon rainforest and trying to capture footage of the surrounding mammals to observe without interfering with their natural movements. From the footage, it looks like a lot of wildlife activity is happening within the grounds. I was invited to be a part of what was the museum's main attractions, Dippy the Dinosaur, a short film where I contributed by doing a voiceover. Some of you may remember Dippy being the main attraction of the museum when visiting as a child. Dippy and the film I helped produce is no longer at the Natural History Museum, but is being shown at other museums around the country. There is way too much to explore in a day. The museum is split into zones so you can choose a theme and enjoy it without feeling too overwhelmed, and return another time. It's great for families and people of all age groups to enjoy, learn, and often has different entertainment happening throughout the year, so be sure to check the website ahead of your visit. Let me know if you have visited the Natural History Museum and what you enjoyed the most in the comments below.